How y'all doing? Look at you guys. Wow, you outgrew the annex. We had to move you in here. Give yourselves a hand. Wow, it is incredible to be with y'all. How many of y'all remember this building? Yeah. This is a little reminiscent. This is kind of neat. Back in Midtown, for those of you who maybe this is your first time, maybe you've kind of visited us at the arena, this is our Midtown location. This is where we used to have church before we moved to the arena. It was our first non-mobile facility. So this has a very sweet, special place in our heart. So look at y'all. This is incredible. What a great crowd. How many of y'all were here last week? Yes, it's good to have you back. For those of you who may be coming back again or maybe didn't join us last week, as you can tell, we've kind of mixed up our format a little bit just for the summer. We're taking on a little bit of a different approach. We think you'll have a lot of fun with it. And first of all, before we get started, can I just say, it's like work to move from the annex into the Midtown Sanctuary. Can we just give it up for all of our volunteers who have been here? Come on. All of the decor, all of the pretty stuff that you see, they come here and they serve and they are part of Team Sisterhood. And they do that so you can have a very special place to come and enjoy and we can worship together. So thank y'all. And if you want to be a part of Team Sisterhood, shameless plug, you can sign up to serve with us in the foyer after this. But anyways, tonight we're going to talk about Project Declutter. That is really the theme of tonight. And as we were getting ready for this, I was kind of thinking through and looking up some different things about clutter in our lives. And oh my goodness, wait, we have reviews, we have reveals. Yes! How many of y'all remember the haircut giveaway things that we did last week? I almost forgot that. Oh my gosh! Y'all would have been so upset if you didn't get to see pictures. Okay, so everybody, the 3 giveaways, if you weren't here last week, we gave away 3 giveaways because our theme was being stuck in a rut and we talked about various different aspects of that. If you missed it, the video's online now that you can watch it, but we gave away 3 complete hair makeover, color, cut, style, the whole shebang. And we have before and after pictures for you. So let's look at the very first one. Who do we have first? This was Christina. Okay, this was her before, and now look at her after. Isn't that great? Is Christina here tonight? No? There she is. Look at her, sporting her new look. Yay, you look great. Okay, and then secondly, who do we have? Who do we have next? Is it, oh, look at, this is Ampresha. Y'all remember Ampresha? She gave us the little strut at the end of the thing. Y'all remember that? This is Ampresha's before look. Now look at her after. Woo! Isn't that fabulous? Are you here, my dear? Are you here to look at her? Look! She looks fabulous. She gave y'all a twirl and everything. Look at her. She's loving it. She'll be taking photos with people later, selfies with Ampresha later after the program. And then last but not least, we have Skylar. Do we have Skylar? Look at her. She was the one with the long, gorgeous hair, our young girl, Skylar. Look at the before and after. She kept her length, but look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Are you here, Skylar? Are you here? There she is. Look, holding her little baby. Stand back up, girl. Stand back up. Look. Isn't she beautiful? We love you. So glad that y'all enjoyed that, but that's always fun, isn't it? But anyways, as we were thinking about just, Project Declutter, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's at work, no matter what stage, what area of life you're in, right? Clutter has a way of adding stress to our lives. No matter what your organizational style is, whether you're really tidy and you like things in its place or you really could care less and you're just kind of you like piles. It doesn't matter. Whatever end of the spectrum you're on with that, clutter just has a way of filling up our lives. So we're going to talk about different aspects of that tonight, okay? But the very first, later on we're going to get into some fun stuff. But to get us started, I thought we would start talking about the clutter in here first, okay? Because a lot of times, it's not even so much the stuff around us, it's the clutter that's in our hearts, because how many of you know our hearts can get cluttered up too? And a lot of times we need to clean out our closets, so to speak, in here. And before you know it, that's when we experience great freedom. So I've asked Pastor Drew King to join us. Pastor Drew, would you please come on up? Give him a warm welcome. Pastor Drew is, obviously, he's one of our pastors here on staff. He's like a brother to me in the faith. He's like my big brother. And Pastor Drew has really been involved with our Freedom Ministry and has overseen that for quite some time. But he's going to share with us tonight, and I've invited him to just join in on the chat. Does that sound good with y'all? All right. Are you on?
Check. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, so every person who saw me walk in here is now saying, oh, that's what the guy is doing here.
That takes
I was
courage,
wondering.
doesn't it?
He doesn't know it's next door?
Yes.
That the women took over the main sanctuary?
You know?
Kicked the guys out?
Y'all did. You girls did.
That's right. You guys did it.
Inviting all of your girlfriends. I saw one girl. She had like 13 girls with her. Where are y'all? Come on, stand up. Look at you.
Wow.
Stand up, all of y'all. 13 of y'all. They come together to Sisterhood. This is like their thing. Oh, that was like a quick pop-up. Okay, that's fine. It takes courage for a man to walk into a room full of women. So give him some love and thank you,
That's
Pastor
right.
Drew. Thank you.
So when Pastor Linda asked me last week if I would do this, the first thought was, what night is Sisterhood on Tuesday? Please tell me I've got something on Tuesday night already. Lord, surely you've got something else for me on Tuesday night. I'm just
At least
kidding.
he's honest,
it's an honor
right?
to be here.
And Pastor Drew is married to the lovely Lauren King. Lauren is
That's
on our
right.
ministry team. Lauren, could you stand, please? Lauren is part of Team Sisterhood. Yes, she serves on our ministry team up here, praying for all of you. So we love the King. So thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. It's an honor to be here.
Okay, so we're going to talk about clutter. Now, clutter in our hearts. How does clutter start to build up in our hearts? Like, how does it even begin? You know, with the natural, it's very easy, right? Things start to kind of pile up. Before you know it, you're just walking by piles. But how does it even start in here?
Yeah, I think when you talk about your heart, really, I want to talk about the soul. Your soul is three parts. It's your mind, it's your will, and it's your emotions. And so clutter can build up in there. If you think about it, if you think about the clutter in your life, the things that weigh you down in here, really, it's in your mind. It's what you think.
Yeah.
Your will is what you want, and then your emotions are how you feel.
Oh, that's
so
good.
clutter
Hold on,
can-
say that again.
Yeah, your mind is what you think. Your
Mind
will is what you
think.
want.
Your
and
will is what you want.
Yeah, your mind, your will, and your emotions, the third
Yes.
part, and your emotions are how you feel.
Feel.
And so
As
clutter
women,
can build
we are
up.
familiar with all three of those.
Absolutely.
Very much in tune. Very, very much in tune with all three. Yes.
Yeah, so if
Okay,
you think
sorry.
about clutter, that's where it resides, mainly in your thoughts, right? And
Yeah.
then also in your emotions and how you feel.
Yes.
And so how does that happen? Because that was your original question. How
Yes.
does clutter build up, right?
Yes.
Well, Pastor Stovall likes to say, I've heard him say it numerous times, that this life knows how to pile on the pain. Anybody ever heard him say that before?
Amen to that.
In fact, Jesus says in John 16:33, he says, in this life you will have trouble. With trouble comes
Yeah.
problems. With trouble comes woundings. With trouble
Yeah.
comes pain. And we all have experienced some of those things in our life, right? Unfortunately, but Jesus says it's going to happen, so it's going to happen.
Yes.
The problem is that we don't, as human beings, really, most of the time, know what to do with that when it happens to us. Man, we get hurt, something tragic happens, something painful happens. We get rejected in some way.
Yeah.
And then generally it's, hey, look, you still have to go to work tomorrow. You still have your kids to take
Yep.
care of. Life goes on.
Yep.
And so what do we generally do?
We brush it under the rug.
Absolutely.
Like we deal
That's
with
what
that
we do.
later. Like the pile in the kitchen. We'll just deal with that later.
That's exactly
when the
right.
time comes.
Bury and
Yeah.
stuff
Yep.
and bury and
Wow.
stuff. And so that's how clutter builds up
Because we don't
inside us.
address it. Wow. So what are the major things? Okay, so like I'm talking piles, I'm talking laundry, I'm talking shoes by the front door. Those are easy clutter things that pile up. Can you tell I have issues with clutter? Like it's a problem for me. But what are the major like areas, or what are the major things in our lives that typically clutter us up?
Yeah. Well, I think you could probably even think about yours as I speak here. It's the things from your past that you know is cluttered, the things that you're holding on to. So maybe there is a rejection from your past. Maybe there's stress in your life, and so there's that's tied to some fears that maybe you haven't released yet. Maybe there's abuse from your past that you know still affects you today.
Wow.
Those types of things, shame from our past. That all of those things, it's still clutter in our lives if we know that it still has an attachment to us, that it still affects us.
Yeah.
In
I
some
like
way.
to think of it this way. When you know that there's triggers that's a good indicator that there's something there that needs to be cleaned out, right? Like you're going along, you're having your happy day, everything's going fine, and then all of a sudden something triggers it, and it just totally flips everything for you, right?
Yep, I like to say it this way.
Yes.
Exactly. It's one of those things where, like, you know what has happened to you in your past. And if you think back to that thing, so whether it pops in your mind or you actually go there, if there's still like a sting attached to that, an emotional feeling attached to that, then that means that it still has an effect on you. And thankfully, we're going to talk about ways that Jesus can help in
God wants us to be
freeing
free
you
of that,
from
right?
that. And so,
Amen. Let's get
absolutely,
that
that's a good
clutter
place
out.
to give God a hand right there. That
That's
He can
exactly right.
and wants to do that. We're going to talk about that.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Okay, so help us get practical with it. So we all know the triggers. We've all felt it, right? We all have different ones. Where do we get started? I guess we start by assessing. Where do we start?
Yeah, I like to say this, that one of the ways that these things stick around with us is I mentioned before, in our thoughts, right? There is incredible power in our thoughts, and especially in our words, right? Proverbs 18:21 says there is life and death in our tongue, the power of our tongue. And so I read somewhere that 90% of our self-talk words are negative. And so if that's what's going on up here, then that's going to be coming out here.
Yeah.
And what I found is those can lead to thinking that says, you know what, I'm never going to be able to get free from this.
Yeah.
I'm never going to find a good man. I'm never going to get, my bills are never going to get paid. I'm never going to be. And if we are speaking those things out from our experience from our past, then it strengthens those things, those thoughts, and those words and the power of them in our lives. And so the first thing we need to do is think about what we're thinking about. Like Joyce Meyer, I'm sure we can get an applause for Joyce in here, right?
Yes, Joyce Meyer. We love Joyce Meyer.
So, like Joyce says, we got to think what we're thinking about. In fact, I love what Paul says. I'm going to pull it up here. It's Philippians 4:8, and you're probably familiar with this, but I think it fits quite well with what we're talking about here. He says, "And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. That's a command. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Keep putting into practice all you learned and received from me, everything you heard from me and saw me doing." And this is how he ends it. He says, "Then the God of peace will be with you." Here's what I know. When you're holding on to clutter in your life, there's no peace there, right?
That's true. That's so true.
Man, we need peace in our lives. We want peace more than anything. Money can't give you peace.
That's right.
And so, man, think about that. When you do this, the God of peace will be with you. And so we got to think about what we're thinking about. And
peace
it's not
is
just
the opposite of clutter.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's not just
is.
That's not just like a fluffy scripture there. He said fix. That's a command. And so we need to catch our thoughts, capture our thoughts.
And, I was thinking about that today. I was running errands, and I jumped in the car, and I had just several things going through my head. Like the car, when I'm by myself, especially without the kids in the back seat, moms, hello. The car is like, I get some serious stuff done. Like a 20-minute drive is like, oh my gosh, I feel like I just conquered the world. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I noticed? It's in that moment where it's like, okay, I turn the car on, I'm ready to get going. In that moment, I had to think about, what am I going to give my mental energy and my mental attention to right now? And sometimes that happens like in a split second. And if you're not careful, your mind just kind of starts, oh, what's the most emotional thing? And you know what? The emotions always try to take first place, right? The emotions are like, I want to be first. I want to be first. Think about me. Think about me. And we have to be intentional about like, nope, I'm going to fix my mind on whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, what is going to move me forward right now. And you know what? When we're not cluttered up in our hearts, that's where we can start evidencing the word, the fruit of the Spirit in our lives. When all of that other stuff is mixed, it's like crammed up in our space. It doesn't allow us to live freely like that. It's the opposite of freedom. It's kind of like when you're walking around in your house and there's piles of shoes, you're going to stub your toe on something. Think of it in the same way, spiritually, in our hearts. You're going to stub your toe on something, spiritually speaking. You're going to walk into something, especially if you're walking through the night, if you can kind of see the parallel in that, right? I know better than to walk through my downstairs when I haven't picked up all of the shoes and the backpacks and the weights and all of the other stuff. I know better than to walk through that in the night because I'm going to walk right into something. It's the same thing in here, And God wants us to be free. God wants us to be free.
So then the second kind of practical thing to do. So I mentioned John 16:33 before, right? Jesus says, in this life you will have trouble.
Yes.
Thankfully, he doesn't stop there, though. He says, but take heart, for I have overcome the world. So that means that he provides a way. We're not in this life just to go through this life, to take these shots on our heart so that we can barely cross the finish line, crawling at the end of our days, and then we say, hey, sweet, I'm here.
Right.
Man, that was brutal. We're supposed to be light in this world, right?
That's right.
So if he says, hey, there's going to be issues and problems,
Yep.
but he says in John 10:10 that I've come to give life and life abundantly.
Yeah.
And so he provides the link between, yes, this is going to happen to you. However, man, trust in me. In fact, one of my favorite verses, and this is another practical thing. He says in Matthew 11:28, he says, come to me, that's an invitation. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. So take him up on his invitation.
There you go.
So the things that you are carrying, that you know, we all know what we carry. When that comes to your mind and there's that sting still attached to it, whatever that is, to pause, to take him up on his invitation and say, Lord, I know that I've carried this thing for too long. It has gripped me. It has held me. And I know that I need to release it. I'm going to take you up on your invitation, and I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah.
So, like, take time out. This isn't like a quick deal. God, you know all the times I've been rejected, and I just give them all to you right now. Take them. I'm talking about get in God's presence and have a worshipful, prayerful time with him. And if you need to visualize taking it from your hand, whatever that thing is, and handing it over, just release it to him. Put words to it. God, the pain that I've been carrying from my divorce, you know what that has done to me. You know the hurt and the pain. But I don't want to carry it anymore, and I know that you will take it from me. God, I give that to you.
Amen.
And in exchange, God, I take your love, your joy, your peace. I receive that now. And there's an exchange that happens between you and he that you will become free. And if you pick it back up,
that's where freedom happens.
That's where freedom happens.
Wow.
Jesus is the one. He doesn't want us just burying and stuffing and going through life, just dealing, managing. Man, he wants to give you the fruits of the Spirit. He wants you to walk in Galatians 5, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and self-control. That's a good place to clap right there, because that's what he wants to give you in exchange.
That's great. Okay, so can you do this yourself? I mean, is this like, or do you need help with other people? I mean, you just talked about prayer. That sounds like a very personal, like, okay, so I just need to like declutter myself in my own time.
Can you do it yourself? Yes. It looks something like I just shared with you. And what I recommend is this, man, get in God's presence. Like, I mean, listening to K-Love and all that stuff is awesome, but I'm talking about not just like that type of Christian radio. I'm talking about like, man, get the Celebration Worship CD if you don't have it yet. I'm talking about download Hillsong. Like, get in God's presence where it's just you and he, and just worship, let your guard down, and have just a time in his presence. I do some counseling here with individuals and with some couples, and they'll come into my office and they will share like everything that's going on, the things that they're carrying, and all of that. And then they'll say, essentially, help. And then I'll usually ask this question. I'll say, tell me about like your time in God's presence recently. What's that look like? Are you in the Word? Are you praying? Are you worshiping? And the most common answer is either no, or not like I should be, or not like I used to. And so I've seen a direct correlation between the time that we spent in his presence, in the Word, and praying, and how much clutter we're carrying, how much joy we're experiencing if we're not experiencing the fruits of the Spirit. And so the first step would to do that. Carve out time every day. Man, Sunday is awesome. Tuesday night is awesome. But man, that's not enough to get you through and to be able to walk in the fruits of the Spirit every day. So
that's so good.
So do that. That's the thing that you can do on your own. And then also, there's Breakthrough here at Celebration Church, our Freedom Ministry here. And so if you haven't been through that, I encourage you to go through that. If you've been through that, we've got new messages that will be coming out this fall. So it's on break this summer, but it'll be coming back in September. So that is a place where you can go and receive prayer. Obviously, you just want to be in places with here, sisters in Christ, people who can pray with you, people you can get connected with. Absolutely.
Yep.
So, and then obviously abuse and things like that, there can be some heavy things, and so that might need a little bit more. We've got a great group here called Door of Hope. Yeah. So if you have been through any form of abuse, sexual, physical, emotional, then I highly recommend Door of Hope. It will be starting back up this fall as well. Yep. And so
know what you're dealing with. You know, like if it's just like, okay, I just really hit a bad mood or something like that, okay, yes, get in God's presence. He can help you with that, right? Your sisters in Christ can help sharpen you, your reach up, your reach outs, your reach backs. But then if you know you're dealing with something heavy, don't go through it alone, okay? Surround yourself with the right people, get plugged into the right community. It's time to clean out the clutter in here. If you've been carrying on something, don't expect it to just go away. It's kind of like that room in the house. You're either going to deal with it or you're just going to go tell other people about how upset you are about it and like never actually address the room. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, you're going to have to walk into the room, start yanking stuff out of the space, and do some cleanup work. Amen? All right. Thank you, Pastor Drew. It's tremendously helped. Come on, give him a hand. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So y'all going to do some cleanup work and deal with some of that stuff. All right, so now we're going to get into some other stuff, and I think we have a video. So before we transition, just pay attention to this real quick.
The most organized part of my life is my desk at home.
Actually is my car, because that's my own little private space.
Probably my computer. I just can't stand a cluttered desktop.
Is my refrigerator. It is on point. The water bottles and labels are beautiful.
The most unorganized part of my life right now is I just moved.
The most unorganized part of my home is the garage. I'd love to blame it on my husband, but I've got a lot of junk down there too.
Because there's still boxes.
Are my pictures. I have thousands upon thousands of pictures.
The spare bedroom / office / storage unit / picture frame holder.
I tend to want to declutter when I'm getting something new. I just want to create a new space for it.
Most after I come home from a vacation, because hotels are perfect and beautiful.
When I start a new season, I definitely love to kind of start a fresh start.
When I'm trying to take a picture of my son to post on Facebook and it's cluttered all over the place.
I get motivated to declutter when my mother-in-law comes to visit. That usually puts the house on code red.
Just to get rid of my old school notes. I tend to hoard them thinking I'll have to do a report on them and I'm not going to need them.
And to get rid of free samples, whether freebies or the things you get at the hotel, I always think I'll need them at some point.
I need to give permission to myself to get rid of the belief that things define me.
Furniture that doesn't really fit in my house, but I have an emotional attachment that I can't explain to a lot of pieces.
My old shoe and shoes.
Shoes.
The girl with the labels in the fridge. Come on in, Liz. Y'all remember Liz Chavez now? Oh my gosh. Just recently got married like 4 weeks ago even. Little over a month. Liz is like one of the most organized people. She's been a part of Sisterhood, obviously, forever. And I asked her to join us because she's one of the most organized girls I know. And having just gone through a couple of transitions, getting married, she's just changed offices. So Liz knows about having to shift spaces and reorganize and start all over. But wasn't that video hilarious? Like, I'm like, oh, the samples. Yeah, I forgot about that big old, like I have a big old tote in the back, like, why do we do that? Why do we hang on to all of that stuff? Isn't that ridiculous? But, so Liz, you've had to like move, are you on? You've had to like move spots and all of that, and what is the big overarching thing? Like as we're gonna launch in like personality types and all of that. Organization. Yes.
Let me see it. Is this right? Oh, there we are. Okay.
Fantastic.
So there's so many things.
What are you,
What do you mean?
like you just dive right in. I mean, like she literally can like collapse an office, box it all up, and then just like, whoop, it's back up again. And like the next day, it's like so pretty. She's gifted. She's gifted.
I don't know how to explain myself there.
Well, here's the thing, okay? Because What we don't want to do is try to build a system. Okay, what we've learned is that there's different organizational personality types, okay? And we are going to talk about 4 different organizational personalities, okay? And you're probably going to find yourself in one of these 4. Because what you don't want to do when it comes to organizing any part of your life is to try to declutter and build a system according to something that's going to work for somebody else. Because then you're just setting yourself up for failure. Okay, so what we thought we'd start off with is maybe just talk about like the 4 different personality types, and then I'm going to ask y'all to see who's who, okay? So first, let's start out with the tidy Trish. Y'all probably already know who you are. Your relationship to clutter, the tidy Trish, your clutter is often situational, okay? So a specific unexpected, like an unexpected event, such as a promotion or something unexpected, results in too much on your plate, okay? Y'all are typically the ones that like to have a place for everything, and everything has its place.
Pastor Linda.
Exactly. Hey, don't you tell my stuff? I am a tidy Trish. I'm a secret closet tidy Trish. I like order. Do I have any other tidy Trishes out there? There y'all are. See? I love it. You thrive on structure, order, details, and efficiency. But there is a roadblock to the tidy Trishes. What is the roadblock to the tidy Trish?
Perfectionism.
Oh.
I can relate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, you have to aim for a home that's good, comfortable, and efficient rather than perfect.
Yes.
Which
Perfect. We like it perfect, though.
Perfection always stands in the way.
Because everything has its place and everything, you know, it belongs there. So
but
why
then
would you
husbands
not do it?
come along.
Amen to that.
Holla.
And she's only been married like 4 weeks, and she's saying that. I've been married 21 years, and God placed me with somebody completely opposite. He's not he's not messy, but he just doesn't care about like the order and the pretty labels and stuff that I put together. You know, it's just not nice. Okay, and then there's the social Sally. Okay, the social Sally, you see clutter as your best friend. Your many personal items have special stories and meanings, which makes you feel safe and comfortable. Where are you? I know you're out there. Raise hand. There, yep, I see you. Don't worry, we still love you. No judging, no judging. And what's the roadblock for our social Sallys?
It's indecision. Gently force yourself to make choices by classifying items as friends, acquaintances, or strangers. Give prime storage to friends and let go of strangers.
Amen. Please, for the sake of all the rest of us. That's awesome. Okay, and then we have the visual Vivians. Do I have any visual Vivians? You're generally detached from the abundant items around you. Like you probably don't even realize that they're there. You don't consider your abundant items to be clutter. It's not clutter, it's just your stuff. They're a factor, they're a part of your life, right? Where are you, visual Vivian? Oh, there you are. Yep. Yep, it's not clutter, it's just your stuff, right? I think if my husband was a woman, that would be him. He's visual, it's not, the house is not messy, honey, it's just lived in. That's what he was always telling me. I'm like, no, there's piles everywhere. I need them gone immediately. What's the roadblock for our visual Vivians?
Change.
Yes.
It's okay to be uncomfortable initially. Rather than working on acceptance, just keep moving, guided by your clear vision of the future.
Yes, we're going to get to that in a minute, too. And then lastly, there's the multitasking Millies. Okay? You view clutter as the enemy. You don't like it, but you're moving so fast that you don't have the time or energy to deal with it. And besides that, you'd rather be doing something else that's fun and enjoyable. Right?
Hello.
So why would you spend your... Oh, wow. Okay, that's the majority of our crowd. Okay, so your characteristics, you're hardworking and you're busy all day, but you can't really recall what you accomplished because you like moving on to other stuff, right? You tend to procrastinate. You lose track of time. You'd rather be doing something that's fun, something that you enjoy, and you typically end up overwhelmed and overcommitted. So what's the roadblock for our multitasking Millies?
Roadblock is getting focused.
Get focused. Get focused. Start small.
Yeah, start small, just 5 minutes a day. Perhaps once you
Yes.
see what you can accomplish, commit to a 10-minute project the next day, and so on.
Okay, so now all of you kind of have an idea of where you're at with that, right? I think I'm kind of a little bit of a split personality. I might be.
Me too. I
Yeah,
am too.
I'm a little. Yeah,
I'm a
kind of
mixture.
like I'm a mixture. I'm a little bit of a tidy Trish, but I'm also kind of a visual. I don't know. I guess it all depends.
I have a
like,
little
you know?
bit of social Sally. I can be sentimental. I keep things.
Oh God, no. Me, I'm like toss it
For no
immediately.
reason.
Toss it. Let it go. It's been sitting on the counter for 2 days. Toss
I have
it.
emotional attachment to
Let
things.
it go. And then you have kids, and they're completely opposite than you, and they want to hang on to every piece of paper and every single drawing. Dear God, I had boxes upon boxes just from this last school year, and I'm like, I have an idea, right? Because this was the second year the kids went to school. I'm like, I have a plan. We'll have one box. When the box gets full, they can't keep anymore. That didn't work. Didn't work. Didn't work. Because then Luke, my son, went and found me another box, and he was like, here you go, Mom. Our other box
You
is
just
full.
have to sort through it when they're not looking and get rid of some of the
You know?
not so good ones.
Seriously. There will
I mean, you
come
know,
a time.
there's some better ones than others, right?
There will come a time.
You can tell I'm not a parent yet.
There will come a time. Here's the thing, okay? We want to help you because no matter, here's the thing that we've noticed, okay? That's typically what sets us up for frustration, okay? We start moving forward, we're like, okay, I'm going to get organized, whether you're super organized or not. We jump in, we start, I'm going to declutter my home, I'm going to declutter my life. I'm tired of the clutter, right? And what ends up happening is that multitasking Millies or visual Vivians start trying to organize the way a tidy Trish would. And you start throwing stuff out, and then you end up in tears because you've just let go of like an heirloom from like 35 years ago, and then you just scratch the whole plan, and you're like, I'm never going to do that again, right? So you have to know what your style is, okay? You have to know who you are, how you're wired specifically, and then make a plan according to that, okay? So that is the one thing that's going to set you up for success. Right?
Right.
And then Liz is going to talk to us about just some great tips after you've nailed down where you're at. And these, if you'd like to jot these, or if you'd like to take like your cards home and like see, okay, which one am I? We have these incredible like resource guides that are available for you. Did y'all grab one of these last week? Every week we have one of these available for you, okay? So it has all of what we talked about in Sisterhood. It has the links that we've mentioned. It has the books that we mentioned in our book clubs. It has, so all of
That
these,
thing is
the Tidy
awesome.
Trish. Yeah, if you,
It's all in
so
one
don't even
place.
spend time like writing notes. Just grab one of these on the way out tonight, okay? And here you go. You'll have your Tidy Trish, your Social Sally, your Visual Vivian, and your multitasking. Okay, so we've gotten you started, okay? Isn't that awesome? All right. So now Liz is going to talk to us about a few other tips to get us rolling once we've landed where we are. Okay, so get us started. Where do we start?
Yes, so I have 5 tips for y'all tonight.
Okay.
And the first thing is tackle one area at a time.
Yes.
So, like, I just moved, and I just got married, I just moved, and pretty much the entire house needs to be decluttered and organized, and you can get yourself very overwhelmed very fast. And so the key is to start in one area, and particularly, especially if you're a multitasking Millie, you want to start small. You know, you don't want to overwhelm yourself, and with anyone, really, it's best to start with a small area, a little junk drawer, or start with your makeup or your jewelry, one area that you really want to get organized, and focus on that first. And then once you do that, you're going to feel so much better about yourself because you actually accomplished something.
And stay focused, because the multitasking Millies are going to be like, ooh, squirrel. Like, let's go. And you go to take something out of one room, and you're going to walk it over to another room, and then before you know it, then you've started on that room, and now you're gutting everything, and the whole house is a wreck, okay? So that is key.
Yes.
All right?
And
Focus.
if you're a social Sally, don't start with an area with a lot of sentimental things in it.
Stay away from the room with the photo albums in it.
Yes.
Just stay away.
Do that later. Save that as a bigger project. Start with something that's a little bit easier for you to tackle.
Yes, that's my husband. Okay, so I'll be like, hey, let's work on The Office. He'll be like, awesome. And he has this like record album collection, like seriously, like vinyl records, right? So I'm like, okay, let's go into The Office, and like we're yanking stuff out. And then before I know it, he's sitting over there in the corner, just looking through all of the albums.
That's me.
I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, do you know it was 1978 when I bought this? I remember where I was, and I'm like, oh God, this is never gonna happen. Like, we're never gonna get through this room. And then he just starts going thing by thing. I'm like, forget it. We're moving on. We're moving on.
It takes me so much longer to organize because I literally look through everything.
Oh
Everything
my
has
gosh.
something attached to it. Like
Stay
all the
focused.
social Sallies out there, can you relate?
Yeah.
There's like
stay
3 of you.
focused.
Okay.
Okay.
Nobody can relate. Okay, so that's number 1.
Great.
Tackle one area at a time.
One area.
Also, while you're, is this the second thing? The take stock of your real estate. Should we go there now?
Sure.
Okay, number 2 is take stock of your real estate.
Yes.
And actually, Pastor Linda, I'm like, really, you're going to bring me up with you? She is like the organizational guru. For anyone who knows her, it's like, really? She's the one who like inspired my office. So she's asking me, are there any overarching themes? I'm like, Pastor Linda, you're asking me that? Like, you should be the one answering this question.
It's good to bounce. It's good to bounce.
So tell them about how when you were planning out your office.
Yes. Okay. So when you're looking at whatever room, okay, you almost have to visualize a room. If you're going to attack like an office or you're changing spaces, visualize the room without anything in it, okay? So completely empty. So sometimes you can go ahead and gut it. Sometimes you kind of have to work around the furniture that's in there. Try to visualize it empty. And then, like when I've moved offices around a lot here, so like I've had to go from shift to shift to shift. And one of the first things that I do is I sit down and I make a list of what are the things that I'm going to do in this room. So for example, when I moved into the office that I'm at now, okay, I know I need a place. I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of editing. I need a place where I can spread out lots of paper, right? I need a place where I can decorate because I do a lot of like gift baskets here at the church. If I do gift wrapping, things like that, stuff for our guests, things like that. I need an area where I can do that with the cubbies and stuff to go with it. I need a regular place where I can just do my computer work, right? And then I need a place where I can meet with people because I do counseling and I sit and I need a place where I can, like, they don't want to be all up in my mess and all of my papers everywhere. So I make an inventory.
She doesn't have papers everywhere. Don't listen to her.
Well, you know. It's not a mess, Linda. It's just lived in. Yeah, I get it.
And so it will get worse before it gets better, but don't get discouraged. Push through. You can do it.
Yes.
Stay focused. Schedule in breaks. Allow yourself to sit down for a minute. Clear your mind.
Absolutely.
Before you go back and try to tackle some more.
Absolutely.
And make sure you have the time set aside to do that. You know, don't try to tackle, your entire closet in just a few hours.
Yes.
Or like I read one blog and it's like, do 15 minutes a day. I'm like, who can do 15 minutes a day of organizing? That doesn't work.
That's not going to work.
Like, by the time you get to 15 minutes, there's more of a mess.
Yes, no, I just got started.
No.
Like, I don't even know. No.
Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4, think practically and be realistic.
Yes.
Okay?
It's huge.
Don't think that those pretty file folders are going to make you a more organized person. They won't. They're just things. Don't expect things to change habits.
Bad habits die hard.
So don't go out and buy a new thing thinking, oh, this is going to make me so organized.
Yes.
That thing is not going to make you organized.
Exactly.
Okay? Be realistic about your personality and what works best for you. Yes. And where things are going to work best for you and what's going to actually be sustainable. What are you actually going to do each time?
Right. Exactly. Don't pick out something that, like, okay, this works especially if you're trying to organize somebody else in your family, right? I have 2 kids. They're both completely different personality types. They're 21 months apart. Luke is like me. I get him. It's easy. I got it. I can organize him. He's bins. He's labels. When he was 2, I walked up to his bedroom. Things were quiet. He had pulled out all of his pull-ups, and he had organized them by, like, the nighttime ones and then the day. I was like, I had nothing to do with that. I promise I did not. But he had them all laid out, so he's naturally going to be like that, okay? Don't build a system that's not going to work for you. My kids are very close in age, but yet their rooms are completely differently organized. I have one system for Skylar, our daughter. She's more like my husband. Praise the Lord in heaven on high. And so she doesn't really care. Things are, her piles are her stuff, and she's highly sentimental. So know that, okay? You moms and those of you who may be married or you have to organize with somebody else, don't try to force a system that's not going to work.
And take account of what they're already doing. If your husband always puts his shoes at the door when he comes in, put a little bin there that he can put his shoes in. Put something there. Or, if you always find that he's throwing his clothes on the bathroom floor and is not bringing them into the bedroom where the hamper is, put a hamper in the bathroom.
She's been married 4 weeks. Isn't that awesome? You
got to figure things out fast.
You'll learn quick. You'll learn quick.
Okay, and then the last thing, number 5, is assess before you buy or DIY.
Yes.
So assess first. Don't go out and buy or try to DIY a bunch of stuff when you're not really sure what you're going to need and what you're going to really use. Assess yourself first. Assess the situation.
That's so good. There's lots of cute little stuff on Pinterest. Who has oodles and oodles of boards, right? Projects that you're never going to do, right? I understand. I feel you, okay? Think clearly. Don't go into the whole Pinterest obsession and then start pinning things or start buying things like crazy, and then you're never going to use them. Okay, so you've got to think first before you assess, and then you can decide, okay, is this something that I can just buy, or do I need to maybe look at DIY in it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that we're going to talk to y'all about just a couple of things. Okay, now the main purpose of this is this week we want you guys to tackle a room. How many of y'all can do that? Or a drawer, at least a drawer. Can we get a drawer?
Start small, start small.
All the hands went up with a drawer. They were like, I can do a drawer. Okay? Start small. Okay? We want lots of victories by next week. Okay?
Yes.
We want to feel good about this. So over the week, we want you to tackle your rooms. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. We want to see some before and after pictures. Give us some hashtags of Project Declutter. Okay, we want to see what's going on out there, but we just wanted to give you some tools, and we're going to talk to you, we're going to show you just a couple of our personal favorites, okay? And these were easy projects that we knocked out like in a weekend, okay? And there's lots of ideas out there on Pinterest. We certainly can't go through every single room in your house, right? We can't talk about everything, but we're going to share with you some of the things that we thought were really helpful for us. And these you can knock out on a weekend, maybe, and it really gives you like a boost. You're like, yes, I did it. So you want to talk about that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, these are some of the projects that now honestly, this one here was mine. This is my makeup, or part
All
of
the
it.
cool DIY stuff is Linda's.
Part of it is mine. I had to like scale it down because I was like, I don't want them to think that I have, like, this is actually full when it's hanging on my wall. Okay, I got this idea off of Pinterest. This is a great way to organize your makeup, okay? I have the room for this in my house because I have a little kid, like at my vanity, I have a space of wall right there, okay? My problem was that I had eyeshadows and eyeshadows and eyeshadows and eyeshadows. And you know what's funny is they're all pretty much the same color. I don't know why I just have like 50 of them, you know? I hang out like in the same color range, but somehow I end up with like 200. It's just ridiculous. But I had lots of eyeshadows in my drawer, and they were all just kind of like crammed in there, rolling around. Some were falling out on the floor. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This was the best idea that I have ever done, and I literally did it like in an hour, okay? This is a magnetic board. And what I did is you buy, just with a glue stick, you can buy these magnets. See these tiny little magnets right here, literally 99 cents. You can get these at the dollar store. Glue them onto the back of your makeup, and then, boop, there you go.
It's that easy.
It's that easy. And it was a lifesaver for me because it took all of those things off of my counter and in the drawers. I don't like the clutter. I don't mind being able to see it, right? But I needed it out of the space. So if you look on Pinterest, this is one of the ones that you will find, and it is very easy. We highly recommend this one. But this is something that you could very easily do.
Yeah.
Next, talk to us about these brushes.
Yeah, to go along with that, this is so easy. You could literally get a vase from a dollar store. You could get a mason jar. You could use a multitude of things. Totally. And then these are just white beans.
Yes,
but you could
navy
use
beans.
Navy beans. You could use coffee beans. You could use Epsom salt. You could use any number of things, or marbles looks really cool. Yes. And you just throw them in there, and there's the perfect spot for your brushes, your makeup brushes.
Something like this, the thing is it doesn't have to, you're gonna feel really good about something that looks pretty, right? Doesn't that just look so much prettier than like them all kind of like, this is usually
just
how they
thrown
are,
in
right?
the drawer.
Like this is usually, let's just be real, that's usually how they are, okay? But I mean, don't you just feel so, look, oh, that's just so pretty.
It just looks nice.
And it keeps all of your bristles away
and
from
there's so
everything.
many options to match whatever your decor is for the filling.
Super
it's easy.
These jars are like $1 a piece. Saw this on Pinterest as well. Loved it. You could literally just make something look pretty. It's amazing, like if you just take a little step up to make something organized and look pretty.
Yes.
Okay, so what else are we going to talk about?
Now that's the DIY. I actually brought my buy, but it's under the seat. I just have a Michael Kors makeup pouch. I literally fit all my makeup into one little pouch, and I just bring it with me wherever I go. So simple, easy.
How many of you that's more your flow? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, fine. Where are my girls at? Come on, thank you. That's right, thank you. We got more stuff.
I can appreciate this. One day I may wear eyeshadow. I probably should, but you know.
Well, and it's because I'm 40, Liz, so I got to put a little bit more
stop.
on.
Oh,
you
stop.
know, the layers start getting a little heavier. The old, you know, I'm just saying. I'm like, I need layers. You got a primer, you got something, you got like layers upon layers that I can use for that. But these are fun.
Okay, so that's makeup. Now here we have our jewelry.
Yes.
So now this is my jewelry.
Okay, we got some jewelry
And
lovers.
so one thing about jewelry, scarves, things like this, if you can't see it, it's the whole out of sight, out of mind.
True.
You're probably not going to wear it. And you're going to end up buying the same thing. You're going to end up, repeat buyer or forgetting that you have it and never wearing it. And so I like to actually have my jewelry on display because I like to easily be able to see what I have and quickly pick it up. And then I just do little dishes like the jewelry I'm wearing now. These are the dishes that it goes into. And I just put it right in front of there. So I have all my jewelry right in one little spot on my dresser so I can easily pull it off. So they sell all kinds. I think I got this at like a Marshall's or a Ross or somewhere like that.
She has visual Vivian tendencies. I think she has visual Vivian tendencies.
I may.
Yes,
I may.
I think so. The key is find something that works for you and just be kind to yourself. Don't worry, splurge a little bit, okay? Make things look a little nicer. You're gonna feel better. Get all of the...
Absolutely.
Before I organized my jewelry, it was literally just all out on the top of my dresser. It was kind of sad.
No bueno.
Yeah, no bueno. And my little earring studs were rolling off, and I was like, I don't know. And then Skylar, my daughter, was coming in. Ooh, I want to try this on. I'm like, no, you can't take that. Just bring it back in, right? Declutter. These are two big areas where, as women, we typically have lots and lots of clutter. Get rid of whatever you're not going to use.
And makeup expires. Do you guys know that?
No.
It actually does expire. So if you've had it for, a good year or so, it's probably time to get rid of it. When mascara starts to smell, that's a sign.
Oh, that's a good one. I did not know that. You know what else
Just
I didn't
FYI.
know? I learned this week. Did you know that sunscreen expires? Am I the only person who didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Sunscreen expires. I was talking to somebody and they were like, yeah, you probably shouldn't keep it after a year. I'm like, oh God. I had one bottle that I had for 3 years. I'm like,
should be pretty easy for me to use it within a year. I need a lot of sunscreen.
You need color. This was my DIY project for jewelry. And my thing was earrings I couldn't find a system that worked for me, okay? Because I had drawers, but they were all just kind of laying in there. And if you open and shut the drawer real fast, because that's usually how I get ready and go in the morning, the earrings were just going everywhere. Mm-hmm. This is something that I saw on Pinterest. Again, I did it in a weekend. I had an old picture frame that I wasn't using anymore. This just came from IKEA. And I took the glass out, took the backing out, and then just got some of this burlap, okay? I already had that at home, stapled it into the back, and then now all of my earrings just kind of hang on here. And the beauty of it is I don't even have to pay attention to where they land. Usually I'm on the phone or something, I'm just yeah, whatever, okay, just put them on there. And they just end up hanging. And then what I did is I took these little tiny screw hooks. I don't know if that's what you call them, but that's what they look like, so that's what I'm gonna call them. They're screw hooks.
Hooks that have a screw on them.
They're screw hooks, okay? And that didn't sound good, sorry. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And
Not
then
hookers,
I just put a bunch
hooks.
of them throughout, all the way around the frame, right? So if I had earrings that didn't, most of my earrings are like this because I don't like to think about, I just like to hook and go, But if I had some that were studs or, some that needed to hang in a different way, I could put them on the hook or use I have lots more watches than this, but, use them for bracelets and stuff like that. Great, great, great if you have the space for it. Totally worth it. I've had this for 2 years and I use the life out of it. Mm-hmm. This is definitely one of the DIY projects that's worth it. So if you have lots like that, you have the time, literally you could knock this out on a weekend. All of the jewelry is up. I walk into the closet, it hangs on my wall, and I'm dressed, and I'm like, okay, and these, and go.
Yeah, and it's great for that empty spot on your closet wall that you don't have anything
What
there.
are you gonna? And it's too narrow of a space, so you're not gonna be able to hang anything there, right? So just use the space for something flat like this.
Absolutely.
So there you go. So, who would like to give one of these a shot? How about the makeup magnetic board? Who thinks that you could do that this weekend? Who should we give this to? A multitasking Millie? Who needs this? A visual Vivian?
Yeah, visual Vivian.
A visual Vivian would like this. Where are my visual Vivians?
Visual Vivian.
You right there in the middle. Come here. Yes, ma'am, you. She is going to give this a shot. Come on,
All
Project
right.
Declutter. Here's everything you need. You just need a little magnetic board, and here's your glue stick, glue guns, and your magnets, and you are set and ready to go. What is your name? Teresa. We want to see pictures. Okay. Hashtag Project Declutter. Isn't that fun?
That's awesome.
And then who would prefer just to buy it? You have jewelry all over the place, right? Where's a multitasking Millie? Give me a multitasking Millie. Where am I? Oh, see, y'all are everywhere. Y'all are everywhere. You come here, right here in the blue shirt. Yep. Come on. She's just going to get started with a little bit of organization, right? She's going to jump in and get it all put together. There's your little jump start for the weekend. What is your name? Frances. Enjoy, my dear.
Awesome.
Awesome. And so give it a shot, okay? Jump out there. Who's going to tackle it? Give me at least a drawer, at least a room. Are y'all psyched? Are you excited?
Hashtag Project Declutter.
Hashtag Project Declutter.
Show us your pictures.
That's right. We want to see pictures, the before and afters. And there's lots of other areas that we can jump into. And throughout the week, the reason I'm encouraging y'all to follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, we're going to be sharing lots of other really cool ideas with y'all. So some of the stuff that's been tried and true, so pay attention to that because we're going to have images for you. We're going to have tips on how to get yourself organized, how to declutter your spaces. Come on, spring cleaning. Well, we're kind of in summer now, right? So summer cleaning, we'll get it moving and get it on. Next, we're going to talk about meals.
Meals.
Kitchen.
The kitchen.
Food.
Yum.
Who likes food and cooking? Where are my cooks? Are all of y'all cooks? Liz, do you like to cook?
No.
Liz doesn't. Oh, okay.
I actually like cooking.
You like cooking?
I just don't do it that often.
Okay, that's all right. We have some incredible tips for you. So I have asked Carla Adcox to come up and join us. Everybody, welcome Carla. Come on up. Carla's going to join us because she is one of our friends here at the church. Carla's been on staff for, gosh, I don't know, like 9 years? Come on in. Come on in. Come join us. And
8 years.
Carla's one of the most organized girls I know, too. She's, I would say that she's probably what are you, a tidy Trish?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, she's a tidy Trish, too. But Carla has a great system that she uses. So I asked her to come in and share a little bit with us on how do you organize meal plans. She's a mom, has a 2-year-old little baby. He's so adorable. Works a very demanding job. Husband, the works.
Yes.
Share with us what you do.
So I have to first give props to Pastor Carrie because this was really originally her idea.
Who is with us tonight?
That's not surprising.
Everybody welcome Pastor Carrie.
So I can't take credit for this at all. She shared this idea on a blog like 2 years ago, and I had just had my son at that point, and I knew if I don't learn how to meal plan, I'm never gonna have time to cook. Like, how am I supposed to have a kid and a husband and a job? And I couldn't get it all organized in my mind. So I took her concept and I kind of built out a system that works for me. Yeah. That I thought I would share with you guys, and hopefully it might help.
Awesome.
So what I did is I created an 8-week meal plan.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Sweet.
And my goal was eventually, to get to 16 weeks, do 2 sets of 8 weeks. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that. I know it sounds very scary, but it's not scary.
That's awesome.
If you give yourself time to plan it out, it's not scary at all, and it works.
I mean, can you imagine not thinking about what you're going to cook for 8 weeks?
It's a miracle.
Amazing.
You probably have that feeling if you work, you get off of work and it's 5:30 and you're starving and your family's starving and you have no idea what you're going to make and you don't even know what you have in your pantry.
Don't do that to
You
yourself.
don't have meat thawed. It's just not. It's not good.
No, don't do that.
That's where I was at every single day.
No.
So what I did was I set out. Okay, I'm going to set aside time. And it took about a good half a day for me to sit down and gather everything together. But first off, I started and I had to assess what my budget was going to be.
Right.
I have to know how much money I have to work with, and that to me told me how many days a week I was going to have to cook at home.
Yes.
So we kind of have a system where we cook a certain amount of nights at home and then we go out a certain amount of nights. So once I figured out how many nights based on my budget that I was going to have to cook at home, I just worked that in, multiplied it times 8, right?
Super.
And then you know how many meals you need.
Got it.
Yeah. So then I went on a hunt for every recipe I could think of. So I called my mom, my mother-in-law. I texted friends that I knew cooked well. I looked on Pinterest.
Yes.
I pulled up cookbooks, anything that you could come up with. And I thought about what was going to work for me. So I know I can't really cook a meal that's going to take me longer than 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Never.
I just can't do it.
Ain't nobody got time.
Not going to happen.
I wish I could. I wish I was an elaborate cook.
The holidays are great for that. Every day.
Not even the holidays.
Not going to happen.
And crock pot meals are great for me. It's you dump everything in and then you're done.
Praise God for the
Thank God for the crock pot.
There are special rewards in heaven for the person who invented the crock pot.
That, for real.
I believe
It's so true. It's so true.
They have their own wing in heaven.
Yes. Yes. So I gathered all of those recipes together, and so that was kind of my planning stage, just kind of organizing my thoughts and planning everything out. And then I took all of that and I organized it into a system.
Great.
So so I just created, for me, I use spreadsheets a lot in my life.
Yes.
So I created a spreadsheet, but you could do it handwritten if you wanted to. And I wrote out my 8 weeks. And what I tried to be intentional about is spreading out the types of meals. So you don't want to eat chicken 5 nights a week, unless you really love chicken, but I don't love chicken that much.
No.
You don't want to eat Chinese food every single night. You don't want to eat Mexican food every single night. So I spaced it out amongst
the family
the 8
will
weeks.
revolt.
Yes, like
the
my
family
husband
will revolt.
Matt would walk in, he's like, chicken casserole again?
No,
sorry, okay.
not gonna do it.
Like, you gotta work in other things. So I would try to evenly spread those things out.
Smart.
So that you don't get sick of eating the same thing over and over and over again.
Yes.
And then after that, I would take every single week and I would create an individualized grocery list. So once I've created that grocery list, which is made up of all the ingredients in my recipes, I've pretty much made a grocery list for 8 weeks, and I don't ever have to think about it. The only thing that I then add to that list is like your staples: bread, milk, diapers, whatever you have to buy, coffee, creamer, like stuff that's just like you walk in a store and you know you're going to buy coffee. That's not, you don't ever have to write that down.
Absolutely.
So it's that kind of stuff. But the bulk of your planning is done. Your lists are created, and you don't have to think about it, you know. And then when you get off of work every night and you walk home, you drive home, and you walk in, you're home,
or walk.
Or you could walk, I guess.
You know, we talked about exercise last week,
we talked about exercise, movement.
But you know what you're going to cook. You've got it already thought out. You have all your ingredients.
Smart.
You can prep ahead of time if you want.
I need to do that. How many of you, seriously, like how many of you
really
could just
does
afford
work,
to, I don't want to think about food all the time. Like, I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired. And you know what? I eventually end up in like food fatigue because I end up eating the same 5 things over and over and over.
That's what was happening with us. Like it was like I could cook tacos, chili,
grilled cheese,
pasta, like spaghetti, or like chicken casserole,
and tacos again.
And then tacos, like it was like we ate so many tacos the first like 2 years that we were married. Matt's like, I don't think I can eat another taco ever.
I can't do it.
And I didn't even like change it up. Like it was the same taco every time. Like I didn't add new thing. Like same seasoning, same taco. Like it was real sad. It was really sad.
It's working mom life, you know. It's
like
life.
whatever you can do to get by.
Seriously. I'm like, honey, I don't know. Ham and cheese sandwich again.
Yeah.
Ham and cheese sandwich.
Peanut butter and jelly. Yay!
Yay!
I got you grape jelly instead of strawberry. Aren't you excited? We're living it up tonight. Woo!
So what I found was, I did all of that, and actually, to be honest, the first go around, I went through all that trouble, but then I never followed through. And so that's my third thing. You got to follow through. And what I found was the first time I did it, I didn't use a system that was sustainable and that worked for me. So really, I put in all of this great work, but then I never.
Was it because of how you organized it?
It was how I organized it, and it was the meals that I chose, and I tried to be like an elaborate cook. Like I'm not a cook. It's okay.
Yeah.
I have to accept that about myself.
Yes. I'm there with you.
I can't walk
I'm there
in
with you.
Yeah, like I can't just open up my pantry and be like, oh, I got this, and this, and it'll just be thrown together to make a gourmet meal. I don't know how to do that. I have to have a recipe.
Step by step.
Yes.
I can follow a recipe.
And Food Network, all of these television shows where they're like 30-minute, it's a lie.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours. Yeah.
It's lies. It takes you like 30 minutes just to like wash the vegetables. That
I have to like Google what they're talking about. I'm like, what does this word mean? I don't know how to cut like that, or I don't know what half the vegetables
are. Like washing and chopping
What's a julienne?
All of their stuff for them. Like, it would take me 20 minutes if I had somebody else prepping all of my and putting them in these nice little containers, so I could just walk in and cook everything. And look, 30 minutes. You know, it's lies. It's all lies. Be realistic.
Yes. So for me, though, once I went through that one time that didn't work at all, I did find 2 ways that worked really well.
Great.
And the first way that worked for me is I literally made like a hard copy version of everything that I just said.
Yep.
So I bought a little box. I brought my box. I don't use this anymore, but I dug it out so I could bring it. And I still had it. So I bought a box. It's magnetized. This is a giant magnet. And it just sticks on the side of my fridge.
Easy.
And I took file folders.
Let me hold it for you.
I took file folders and I just chopped them into little sizes.
So cute.
So that I could write on the tabs.
She's so a tidy
my goodness.
And then in each tab, I have my meal plan for the week. I have my individualized shopping list for the week, and I have all the recipes that I need for that week.
Yes.
And it's just there. It's just simple. I just pull it out. It's done.
I'm so excited.
So that worked for me for a long time.
I'm serious. Like, I'm so going to do this. If I have to answer one more question about what's for dinner tonight, it's on the fridge.
and Matt knew, my husband knew, like, he just would look at the card. Like, he knew what we were going to have. And every once in a while, like, I'd be creative and be like, okay, you get these 4 choices. Yes. You can choose the order, but we're having these 4 things.
I love that. Take control, ladies.
Take control. But recently, what I did is I just kind of went all electronic. So I always have my computer with me or my phone with me. Yes. And so I have it all in a file. So for me, that's just a giant Excel spreadsheet, and it's got 3 tabs. I gave it to you guys if you can post it on Facebook or something.
Look at that. We have... And we have the links available for you for this on our Facebook page. You can manipulate it. You can make it your own.
The first tab is the actual meal plan, and then the second tab is the grocery list, the individualized grocery list, and then the third one is just like a giant bank of recipes that you can pull in.
How easy is that? Start with 2 weeks. Start with 4 weeks. Come on, just do something.
Yeah, and you could start small for sure.
Yes, small. You know what? A lot of your time and a lot of your energy is being spent on thinking about what you're going to make and planning and all of that. Declutter your life, okay? Simplifying so that you don't have to think about those things all the time. Major, major win. Major win. Thank you, Carla.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And then you mentioned something about electronic versions. So, Liz, you're more of an electronic kind of gal too, aren't you?
Yes. Actually, a lot of what she was talking about, there is an app. It's a free app called Pepper Plate. P-E-P-P-E-R. Pepper.
Oh, look, there it is.
There it is. Okay, listen how cool this is. So you can actually pull a recipe off of any website. I was looking on myrecipes.com, found a couple recipes. You copy the URL into this website. It will actually pull the whole recipe into your app. You can have it on your phone or on your computer. And then it will make a shopping list for you.
Praise God.
From that recipe automatically. And
Can you tell meal planning is an issue? This is going to be my project.
And you can also, like,
project.
let's say Carla has her recipes. She can enter in her recipes on there. It also has a calendar where you can plan out your meals for each week. You can also make a menu where for tonight, it's not just, it's this salad and it's this main meal and it's this dessert. Put it all together and that's your menu for the night. And then you can make a shopping list based on that menu. And so, and then actually the cool thing is that once you pull it up for that recipe, let's say you're like, okay, add to my shopping list. You can actually deselect the things that you already have. So it doesn't add extra things to your shopping list. So if you already have the curry, you can deselect the curry because you know you already have that. Or whatever else it is, you can deselect those things.
I'm downloading that tonight.
And then you can also add other things.
Look at y'all. Already the phones are popping up. Look at this. Everybody, hold up your phone if you're doing, look at y'all. Everybody's like, App Store. Apple's getting like hit right now. Pepper Plate.
The only downside is I think you do actually have to go onto the computer to add recipes. So that's the only downside. You can't do it straight from your phone. But you're usually on your computer anyway to do that sort of thing. But you can add things to your shopping list as well that like, okay, so I added coffee filters because I need coffee filters. So I just added that right there on there with all the other stuff. So you can add things individually or you can add them based on a recipe as well. So
see, and that's fabulous because you know where you're usually somewhere not near your paper list when you think of something that you need, right?
Always.
That's me. I'm always like, oh. Or you know what really gets me is when my husband's like, hey, we need such and such. And I'll be like, you can add it yourself. Add it to the list yourself. Sorry, I have issues. Maybe I have freedom issues that I need to.
I understand.
Do I have clutter in my heart? I have clutter in my heart.
I understand. I'm with you.
Clutter in my heart.
I think it's the tidy Trish.
It's the tidy Trish in me.
There's something in there.
I need to work on some decluttering this week. Awesome. How many of y'all are going to do something like that with your meal plans this week? That sounds like fun. Thank you guys. Thank y'all so much. And you know what? To boost y'all up and get you started, we have some more giveaways for you. Look at this. Who would like the ultimate quick and healthy cookbook? More than 400 low-calorie recipes with 15 grams of fat or less. Come on, somebody way in the back. Yes, come here, my love. Come here. And then look at this. We have Michael Simon's 5 in 5. 5 fresh ingredients in 5 minutes. I want to know how this works. Right here by the clock with your love. What is your name? Mindy. Mindy, enjoy. Right here. Okay, and then look, Jada De Laurentiis. I love this girl. Can I say of all of the cookbooks that I buy, she is the one that I probably use the most. She's the one that's like on the Food Network. She always looks so cute, you know, and I'm just like, go mess up your hair. Thank you, love, enjoy that. Right over here. Come on, we're boosting you up. You're gonna get started. Jump right in with a nice meal plan for this week. What's your name? Cassie. Enjoy, have fun. All right, ladies, are y'all having fun with this? Okay, and last but not least is going to be our Around Jack segment. So turn your attention for the screens and we'll get started. Tried some of our spots from last week, the Around Jacks. I saw y'all hitting us up on Facebook. Y'all tried some of the Riverside areas. You did? Oh, that's so cool. All right, well, Jenny Wong is joining us again tonight for some other spots in town. Jenny, what area are we talking about tonight?
All right, well, we are headed to Jack's Beach tonight. Jack's Beach tonight.
Oh, that's fun.
Well, you know, the theme tonight was declutter,
yes.
You know, so we were thinking declutter, simplify.
Yes. The beach.
Let's go back to the simple pleasures of
the
life.
Waves.
You know,
yes.
Relax. Think at your leisure. Think at your leisure. This is what we were thinking when we were thinking Jack's Beach.
Nice.
And of course, doesn't everyone think of the beach? The beach.
Seriously.
The beach is where you go.
It has a way of slowing you down, right?
It
awesome.
Does. It
awesome.
Does.
Okay, so what spots do we need to check out at Jack's Beach?
Well, one of the first things we thought of is this is for the outdoorsy, fitnessy type person who loves some physical activity.
Okay.
How fun would it be just to rent some bikes? Rent some bikes or maybe bring your own bike and ride your bike along the beach, ride your bike around the neighborhoods in the beach area. Super fun. There's a couple of great shops that you can do this that offer opportunity for you to rent a bike. There's one called Jack's Beach Surf Shop.
Cool.
And you can rent a bike. You can rent, actually even more fun, rent a beach cruiser. Rent a beach cruiser, put your little picnic stuff up in your little basket,
yes.
Or just rent a bike. It can be just a few bucks per hour or $25 for the day. And you can do it with your girlfriends, you can do it with your kids, or maybe the whole family can do it together.
Awesome.
Super fun.
Nice and simple.
Yes.
Simple pleasures of life. I love it. Okay. Oh, you're going to talk to us about some food.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Where should we go?
Okay. So if you're going to the beach, now, you know, we know in all of these places that we go to, all of y'all probably know of a million places that you can go to, but we try to just draw out and bring out things you may not know about, maybe off the beaten path, or maybe just unique, maybe just because they're unique and they're local to Jacksonville. One of the places in Jack's Beach is Maple Street Biscuit Company.
Oh,
we have some fans. Okay, we have some fans.
Okay,
preaching to the choir here.
My word.
Preaching to the choir here. So there's two locations. There is a Maple Street Biscuit Company in San Marco, but they have a location in Jack's Beach as well. This is a homegrown restaurant and establishment. It's started by two people from Jacksonville. It's local. It's known for their Southern comfort food.
That looks so good.
Southern comfort food.
Calorie free.
No,
Calorie
I was just
free.
going to say, I'm sorry,
No?
Pastor Linda.
Okay.
There will definitely be some calories with this.
Okay.
But they're known
after
for
you get finished with your decluttering project,
yes.
go there, right?
Yes.
Treat
after
yourself.
You get sweaty and stressed and all that, you ride bikes,
oh,
you know,
my
get
word.
sweaty. Incredible Southern comfort food. They have gracious service,
like
clean, and it's kind of like you feel like you're going to your neighborhood place when you go in there. You feel like you would meet someone, someone that lives next door to you, and y'all can catch up.
Nice.
It's like Cheers.
I've never
like everyone
been there.
knows your name.
I can't believe I've never been there. How many of you have never been there? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Look at that. Okay. We need like an outing.
Totally. We'll definitely
like a
do an outing.
outing.
You know, and it's more than just like a flaky biscuit, buttery biscuit.
Yes.
They really pride themselves on putting quality ingredients into their food. They also have fantastic roasted coffee. Anyone who has had their coffee there, they know Chadi, yes.
Yeah.
Can vouch for that. They have great coffee. But I I definitely want to give you just a couple of just visuals of some of their some sandwiches that they have.
Okay.
I'm just going to read it because I just don't want to mess up what they have in each of them.
These are some of their top menu items.
These are just a few of them. Okay. There's one called the sticky maple.
Oh, yes,
You got the flaky biscuit. You have fried chicken breast, pecan wood smoked bacon topped with Bissell Family Farm real maple syrup. Okay, that's a sticky maple. Then you have the Ralphie Deluxe. It's a flaky biscuit, sausage gravy with kick, and a fried egg.
Oh my gosh.
You also have what's called the Blues Biscuit. It's a flaky biscuit, pulled pork, topped with house-made slaw and barbecue sauce.
They don't play.
Yum.
They
don't
play.
play.
This is serious business. Okay.
My favorite, I'll just tell you, my favorite is there's a sandwich called the Squawking Goat.
Squawking goat.
Yes. I don't know why it's squawking. Like,
No.
did they get it when I was,
No.
I don't know, it's squawking. But it's this biscuit with fried chicken breast and pepper jelly.
You, Jenny?
Yes.
Wow. I'm kind of, she's a
Oh,
health
yes.
nut. Okay. All right.
you
We'll
know-
have to check that out.
Yeah, check it out. You know, always, if you, even if you're not into biscuits, they got your hash ups, oatmeal, you know, your side
Awesome.
items, your breakfast side items. It's super fun. They're open, obviously, for breakfast and lunch. And then on I think, is it on Friday and Saturday, they're open for dinner.
Sweet.
As well.
All right.
So,
What else do we need to check out?
okay. So if you have a little, I know that was all good and not calorie free.
Yeah.
But if you have even more of a sweet tooth, check out this place called Sonati's Bakery.
I love me some Sonati's.
It's
Yes.
a local establishment. I know we have some fans here. Has anyone already gotten a cake from Sonati's
I
before?
have gotten, yes.
Okay. So yes.
Somebody bought me a birthday cake one year, and it was from Sonati's. I was like, I will never go back. Like, not Sonati's. Like, I will never go to like a regular birthday cake from there.
You
it
can't
was
go back.
So good.
You just can't go back.
It was so good, so fresh.
Yeah.
It was just so good. If you have a special occasion, you got to buy a cake for somebody. Don't go to Publix. Just like go try something new.
Exactly.
You know? Publix
Exactly.
is awesome too, but I mean, try something
Support
new.
your local establishment.
Yes.
Sonati's. They're known.
I mean, look
for-
at that.
Yes. Pastries. You know, they're known for great donuts. And then also all their custom cakes. And then, you know, with all their cakes, they have quite a menu repertoire that you can choose from. Oreo, red velvet,
Great.
6-layer cake.
Fantastic.
They know they have great icing. Apparently they have great tasting icing.
Amen.
And so, yeah.
There will be icing in heaven. I'm convinced.
Skip out on Publix.
I'm
Go to Sonati.
I'm convinced. Jesus loves us.
Heaven. A little slice of heaven right here.
Yes.
Right here. Sonati's.
Celebration. Okay, what else you got?
Okay, now we always like to just give a little option for our Java coffee lovers.
Absolutely.
So this is something, Lily's Coffee.
Lily's Coffee.
Coffee bar.
Oh, look
and
at
this is
that.
at
Y'all know about
Neptune
Lily's.
Beach, actually. Neptune, which is a little bit down the
Look
road
at
from
that.
Jack's Beach. But what I thought was great about Lily's, and those of you who've been there will know, it's kind of like a holistic place. It's got coffee, but it's got appetizers, breakfast, lunch. It's just got a great vibe. It's just a block away from the ocean. It's by the beaches courtyard. And so they have great indoor seating as well as outdoor seating in the courtyard.
Nice.
They actually offer live music there every Friday and Saturday night.
Come on.
So
there
it's
you
a
go.
great place.
That's a nice little. You know what? I think we're going to need to like plan some sisterhood outings to some of these spots. What do y'all think? Yeah, I think we do. I think we need to, more on that to come. I think so. I think we're going to like go crash some of these places. I mean,
think that
not
was a
crash
little
them,
preview
but, you
right
know,
there.
Like we'll be nice.
I think that's a preview of what's coming. Yeah, so it's a great spot, you know, for even not only your girlfriends at night,
Yes.
but also like for a Saturday morning, for a
Perfect.
leisurely like breakfast with your family.
Yes, declutter.
Bring the kids, sit outside in the courtyard, do a
Awesome.
crossword puzzle. I don't know.
Crossword puzzle.
You know,
Wow. That'd be
Take
like
your
life-changing
time.
to do that again. Like, I don't even know what to do with that. Oh,
they also have some, if you like to shop, they have some really cute little shops around that whole little
Fun.
area. You can check out little
great.
boutiques right around that area.
Okay, and then last but not least.
Okay, yes. Closing last. Yes. So, what would relaxing and leisure be without the spa?
Oh, yes.
Without the spa, yes. So, we know there's a lot of places you can go, but
Yes.
if you want to really treat yourself, check out One Ocean Resort and Spa. Check out One Ocean
man.
Resort and Spa. It's
Put this
not
on
only
your birthday wish list,
Yes.
okay? When they ask you, what do you want for your birthday? I know the thing. Y'all can pitch in. You can get, like, see, we're helping you out, giving you some ideas. Oh, my word.
That's where
Look
we're
at how
helping out. Yeah, they
beautiful
got
this
some
place
great
is.
photos.
That's
they got
gorgeous.
some great photos. It's really great, you know, if you're looking for like a coastal resort retreat place that's not too far, but you feel like you're away.
Yes.
One Ocean is a great place because it's also a hotel, as many of you guys may know. It's beachfront, right on the beach, and they have an in-house spa. And you know, the spa is incredible. It's incredible. I mean, obviously they offer all your therapies, your scrubs, your facials, your manis and pedis.
Yes, but you know what? Even that, we race through those, don't we, ladies? Every now and then, it's just nice to treat yourself. Be nice to yourself. Okay, slow down. Because even like the pedis, we're like, okay, you got 20 minutes. Can you get this done like in 20 minutes? Like I got 20 minutes. And that's okay. I get it. That's part of our lives. But every now and then, you got to slow the pace down a little bit. Okay, declutter, pause, enjoy.
Absolutely, and One Ocean Spa will definitely put you in that mood. It's very tranquil. You walk in, you feel like, yes, just relax. And you know, what's great about One Ocean is that with the spa, if you get any service, it says some places you offer, you can stay there and have full access to their pool, their women's lounge, their fitness center for the entire day. Oh. So if you just get one service, you can just hang out there for the entire day. That's a nice little perk. Bring your bathing suit, relax.
Make a day of it.
Make a day of it.
Awesome.
Bring your girlfriends or maybe just yourself.
Fantastic.
Just yourself.
I'm all
and
about
just
that.
Relax. So while we're at One Ocean, if you're looking for a fine dining place as well,
do they have one there?
Azuria restaurant is one that you may not often hear about, but it's another luxury, like it's a fine dining place. It's like a culinary gem a lot of people don't know about, but they bring in a lot of the flavors of the beach area. They have a little Caribbean, European. They bring that there. The way they present their food is beautiful as well. This is a great place to have a date.
Special occasions, okay? Now remember, grab one of the resource guides. We've put all of these places in here for you, okay? So when you hit the weekend and it's like, where should we go? There you go. Now you have all of your lists and your ideas. Awesome. Well, thank you, Jenny. That is fun. How many of you are going to check out some of those places this weekend? All right. And look, the way we always love to round the night up. Have y'all had fun with this tonight? We have some last little things to give. Look at that. Again, from our wonderful sponsors. And all of these girls who give to this, I want you to know that they are within Sisterhood. They love you so much. These are girls who give this. They are part of Sisterhood, and they want to sow back into you. So here's what we have. First of all, a 1-hour massage. Okay? Let's talk about a mommy who maybe just had a baby like in the last 3 months. Okay, right there. You are my girl. Come here, dear. This is many thanks to Exhale Therapy Massage. Mommy needs to get away. Go get yourself a massage. Yes. Oh, it's you. Hi, lovely. Her birthday was Sunday, too. Oh, give her a hand. See? So there you go. And then we have another 1-hour massage. Come on, who needs to like de-stress? You right here in the black shirt. She's so calm. Like, look at her. She's like, just help me. Just help a sister out. Can you just like help me? What is your name, my dear? Martha. Enjoy. And then I know there was lots of you, but who hasn't tried Maple Street? Right here in the orange. Here you go, my dear. Look at her. Take one of your girlfriends, go try one of those lovely, delicious biscuits. Oh, we want pictures. I want pictures of that. Enjoy that. And then, oh look, we have, thanks to Massage Green Spa, we have yet another 1-hour massage. Look at this. Don't we have great friends within Sisterhood? Isn't that awesome? Where am I going to go with? I'm going over here with this one. You right there in the silky green shirt. Come here, love. Yes, ma'am. You right there. There you go. Enjoy that, my dear. Get away. Look at her. She has child tags wrapped all over her arms. Yes, bless her. Bless her. Okay, here's the deal. Project Declutter this week, okay? Attack one of these areas of your life, whether it's in your heart, okay? We talked about letting go of some clutter in our hearts, right? Focus on one of these areas. You want to walk into the summer free, just a little bit lighter, a little bit freer. Tackle one of the drawers. Maybe one of the closets, if you want to tackle something even, but maybe even just your car. We can just tackle the car, right? And just stop there. Enjoy this week, okay? The main thing is just lean into it, get rid of some clutter, and then we're going to talk next week about some more fun stuff. Sound good? Let me pray over you, and then we have some announcements before we go. Dear Jesus, we just thank you for a wonderful night in your presence, Lord. I just pray that you bless this group of women, God. Thank you so much for just being here amongst us and working in our hearts, Lord, and speaking to each and every one of us what we can take away from here. We love you, we worship you, and we can't wait to be back here again together next week. Amen.